Welcome to this practice. My name is Jaina, and we have 10 minutes together in relaxation. Thank you so much for being here and giving yourself the space and the time to rest and renew your body. Firstly, make sure that you are warm because we'll be holding the postures for a little bit longer, so the body will start to slow down and cool down. The only thing that you really need for the practice is a blanket. Mine is quite thick, quite firm, and if you have a mat, then beautiful. If not, then a bit of floor space is perfect. So with the blanket, we'll go ahead and unroll it a little bit. Have it horizontally across the mat. We're going to take a wide legs child's pose. So the big toes are touching, and really take the knees out wide so that they can go wider than a mat's distance. Hips back to the heels. Go ahead and walk the hands forwards. You may like to bend the elbows. You may like to stretch them out. And if you can, soften down the forehead. Here, we are moving from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're moving from the flight and the fight, from the chaosness of the external world, more into the rest and digest. A little bit more into our internal being, and hopefully feeling a little bit more calm and still. So as you're here, allow for the breath to be a little bit slower and a little bit longer. As you inhale, your whole body is in a state of expansion. As you exhale, everything is softening back in. And with each and every breath that you take, notice the effect that it has on the mind. You're here, see where you can soften and relax a little bit more. Could even bring the arms back a little just to soften the shoulders. You may start to notice a little bit more intensity through the inner thighs into the adductors. And from here, start to deepen the breath a little bit more. You can lift the head up. Start to peel the arms back. Propping yourself on up. And slowly coming up to seated. You can bring the knees in. From here, coming off the blanket, and we'll fold it up so it's a little bit more thicker. And we're going to be placing this on our back. So this is a one blanket back bend. And you want it pretty thick. Mine's like 10 plus centimeters in thickness. And you want enough space horizontally so it supports your torso. So you may need to refold it a little bit. And we want to place the top of the blanket at the tips of our shoulder blades. So the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. The blanket won't be on the lower back. It's in between the upper back and the lower back. And it should feel pretty comfortable. So you'll have 2 feet on the floor, and then you can even touch and feel where could be the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, and place the top of the blanket there. Any hair that you may have, can move it out of the way so that the neck is nice and lengthened. If you need to wriggle around a little bit, you can. And then you can lift up the hips and move the pubic bone towards the belly button so it sends the tailbone away. And then that should make it a little bit more comfortable in the lower back. The feet are on the floor with the legs bent, so it relaxes the abdomen, and it also helps to make the back a little bit more comfortable. If you like, you could take your feet as wide as the mat and then allow for the knees to move in towards each other. With your arms, they could be by the sides. Take up as much space as you like. And you even may like to have the pinky side edge of your hand onto the floor. That could feel really comfortable. We're going to be here for a few more minutes. Again, let the breath be a little bit slower and a little bit longer. Breath by breath, sinking into this pose. And this pose isn't for show. This pose is here for introspection. So notice what sensations arise through your body. See where you can soften and relax a little bit more. And I'll leave you in silence so that you can be in the silence of your experience. To deepen the breath. And start to make some movements to the fingers and toes. You can open and expand the hands, squeeze the feet. Take a stretch, arms over the head, lengthen out the legs, elongate the body. Roll to the side, that feels more open to you. On the left or the right, use your arm as a pillow, knees in towards the chest. Take a moment for the body to settle here, to recalibrate. And then we'll press the hands on down and we'll come and take a seat. You can have the hands onto the knees. Go ahead and roll the shoulders on back. Lengthen up the spine. And notice how you feel here. Your body, the breath, as well as your mind. Let's bring the hands to the center of the chest, to our heart center. And bow down the head, the brain to the heart. Thank you very much for your practice.